Okay, let's look at our next example on our notes. This is example B. This one has a little bit more going on, but we still have the same situation. We're just doing all the same things that we did when we were solving with numbers. So the first thing we're going to do is look at what variable we're solving for. In this case, we're solving for the x. And then we're going to use our inverse operations to get rid of everything else that's over there. So we're going to start by getting rid of this plus 9. So we're going to subtract 9 from both sides. That leaves us with 13x on the left side, and that's equal to 100 minus 9, which is 91 on the right side. Now our next step, we need to get rid of that 13. That's our last thing to get the x all by itself. Since this is multiplication, 13 times x, I'm going to divide by 13 to get rid of that. So 13 divided by 13 is 1. So we have 1x is equal to 91 over 13. That's our fraction. And then, of course, we have to reduce our fraction anytime we can. And when we reduce that fraction, we end up with 91 over 13 being equal to 7. So x is equal to 7. Now we're going to follow those exact same steps, but we're going to do it with all letters. So on the right side here, it tells us we're solving for our variable m. So I'm going to mark the variable that I'm solving for so I don't forget and lose track. Then I'm going to get rid of everything else that's over there. So just like on the left side here, the first thing that we did was we subtracted the 9. We use either addition or subtraction to get rid of what was being added or subtracted on to the side with the variable. So I'm going to do the same thing on the right, but now instead of a 9, we have a b. So instead of plus b, it's going to be minus b. And of course, I need to do that on both sides of my equation. And when I do that, my b's are gone because b minus b is 0. And I have m times x is equal to y minus b. Now, y minus b, those are not like terms. Remember, in order to combine them, they have to be the exact same letter with the exact same exponent. That's our like terms. These are not that case, so I cannot combine them. So that's all I can do with those is just mark them as, or just leave it as y minus b. Now I'm marking my m again because I don't want to forget which variable I'm solving for. I want to leave that m over there. And then just like on the left side here, our next step was to divide by the coefficient that was with our variable, whatever we were multiplying times our variable. Now in this case, it's not a coefficient, we have a number, we have another variable, but the same step's going to apply. Because this is multiplication, we're going to divide both sides by x. And when we do that, x divided by x is 1, so we're left with 1m on the left. And then on the right, we have our fraction. Oh. We have y minus b over x. And of course, if you can reduce your fraction, you need to do that. But in this case, we can't. We can't do anything else with this fraction. That is reduced as far as it can go without there being any numbers in there. So we're just going to leave it just like that. M is equal to y minus b over x.